The following is a presentation of the Fairfax Network.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos. Hello, welcome to World Tour Language Series and welcome to program number 11, Spanish program number 11. My name is Mrs. Ada, me llamo Doña Ada, and we have today the objectives of our lesson. We will start today talking about Puerto Rico. I am very happy to introduce Puerto Rico. It's the country I come from. And after Puerto Rico, we will review the verb ir, to go, the verb ir that we have already learned. And we will start talking about adjectives and colors. And in the future, we will join adjectives and colors and articles, and we will make phrases and sentences with them. Let's start with Puerto Rico. Here is the word Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico means rich port, and that was the name given by the Spaniards after some changes with their name of the island. And I will explain that as we go along. Let's open the book, your workbook on the portion of Puerto Rico, and you will have, when I think of Puerto Rico, what do I think of in terms of people, climate, food, clothing, and place names? I know you may think of climate as a very warm country, which is true. Food, which is similar to the Spanish one, and clothing, which is summery clothing. Let's go now to introduce you the flag of Puerto Rico. And the flag of Puerto Rico resembles very much to the flag of Cuba. We call ourselves brothers and sisters of the Cuban people. The flag was originally adopted in 1952. As I said, it resembles the Cuban flag because both countries at one point were opposed to the Spanish ruling at the same time, the same year. The colors of the Cuban flag and the Puerto Rican are inverted. The Puerto Rican flag, as you see, has the triangle in blue, where the Cuban has it in red, and the stripes, our stripes are red, and the Cuban one is blue. So once I have introduced that, I'd like to show you a map of the islands, of the Caribbean islands, where Puerto Rico is situated or located. And we have Florida on the top, very close to Cuba. Then we have Cuba, and when we have Haiti or Haiti, and we have Dominican Republic, República Dominicana, and lastly, Puerto Rico, and you can see also Jamaica. Puerto Rico is very, very small. It's a tiny island in the Caribbean Sea, and it is, as you see, Cuba is 13 times bigger than Puerto Rico. We're also surrounded by the Oceano Atlantico, the Atlantic Ocean, so we have sea water all over. So it's a very nice place, pleasant place to spend vacation. Here we have a map of the cities of Puerto Rico. I'm going to start with the main city, which is San Juan on the northern part. Then we have Carolina. And I would like to say that San Juan is, as I said, the capital of Puerto Rico, the main city. It's where all the government offices are, most of the government offices. We have an agency, an administration called EDA, which is what in Spanish we call it Fomento, and actually EDA stands for Economic Development Administration. They are the ones promotes Puerto Rico for industry, and they work hand in hand with the Department of Tourism. Now we have Ponce, as you see on the southern part. Ponce is very, very Spanish. It's the third largest city in Puerto Rico. It's very cultural in Spanish ways. It has a university. In fact, I went to that university, Catholic University in Ponce. Bayamón, another town, another city, is under San Juan. The city is the second largest city nowadays in Puerto Rico. And lastly, we have Mayagüez, which has its own engineering university campus, together with the University of Puerto Rico in San Juan. Puerto Rico has many, many universities. The last time I studied it, they had about 13 universities altogether, campuses and so forth. Now I want to talk about the seal of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. And here you have it. I want to pause a little bit here because I want to talk about what we see in this seal. You see, there is an F on the left-hand side. That is the King Fernando from Spain that we have studied about. And then the I next to the other side, in the right-hand side, stands for Isabel, which we saw it written as a Y, S-A-B-E-L the first time. Well, this is an I, Isabel. I told you that you will find it both ways correctly spelled. This seal was granted by the King and the Queen of Spain to the settlers at that time. And it has, I will explain very briefly what it has. You see those letters in Latin words. It says Johannes est nomen eius. That means that John is his name or their name. That was the name given to Puerto Rico. John, San Juan, San John the Baptist. You see the lamb. The lamb stands for the representation of Saint John the Baptist. The book, the red book, is the Bible. We have also a banner and a cross that stands for the symbols of peace and brotherhood. We see around surrounded with kingdoms of Spain, the kingdom of Aragon, the lion, the kingdom of Castilla, the castle, and so forth. I just wanted to briefly introduce you to the seal of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. As you know, Puerto Rico is a Commonwealth of the United States. Now, let's see this name here that I have. It's Boriquen. Boriquen. Boriquen is the name given to the island by the Indians. We had the Taino Indians were our Indians, and they call it Boriquen. And then eventually it became Borinquen. And so you hear Puerto Rico also being called Borinquen. There is beautiful music, songs written about Borinquen, the beautiful island of Borinquen, but it's actually also Boriquen. As I said, Puerto Rico stands for rich port, and that was given by the Spaniards when they arrived. They found a lot of gold and a lot of richness in Puerto Rico. Let's go to some facts about Puerto Rico. Let's see here, Puerto Rico, as many of you know, it is a year-round tropical. It has a year-round tropical climate. Its population, it's about 3.4 million, probably more, in Puerto Rico. San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's government is called, in Spanish, ELA, which stands for Estado Libre Asociado, which means a free state associated, ELA. So if you find that in books, that is what it stands for. I want to say also in the next one that I'm showing you, San Juan. San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico, which stands for Saint John. And what happens is when Puerto Rico was settled by the Spaniards, they called Puerto Rico itself the island Saint John the Baptist. And eventually they changed it into being the capital of Puerto Rico, Saint John, and then the island called Puerto Rico, Richport. I have some dates here that I want to share with you also for those who are interested in knowing. Here we have 1493. That was when Columbus, in the second voyage, discovered Puerto Rico, or rather entered Puerto Rico. And we have 1898, when Spain ceded the island to the United States. And so 1917, Puerto Ricans became U.S. citizens. So when we are born, we're automatically given the citizenship of the United States. In United States, in this country, we celebrate Columbus Day as around October 10 or 12. In Puerto Rico, Discovery Day is celebrated on November 19. Día del Descubrimiento, November 19. October 12th for Puerto Ricans is called Día de la Raza, which is the day, the People's Day, the People's Day, which means that we are celebrating our heritage from the Spaniards. We are identifying our culture with the Spanish culture. Now, for those who didn't know, Puerto Rico has the same currency as the United States. Here we got. Now, stop here and remember what we talked about, how to say dollars in Spanish. Dólares and centavos. Dólares and centavos. Well, Puerto Rico in 1898 also used this money, this currency, and also had the postage stamps made official U.S. Postal Service. Now that we have introduced a little bit of Puerto Rico, I would like you to watch a clip from Puerto Rico. I hope you enjoy it.
There's no place else that has its many natural wonders, its rich heritage and traditions, and the amazing variety of adventures and discoveries that it offers to its visitors. Puerto Rico is more than just another island in the Caribbean. You'll be fascinated by El Yunque, the only tropical rainforest in the U.S. National Forest System. And wait till you explore the Rio Camoy Cave Park, the third largest underground river and cave system in the world. And that's just the beginning. There's much more. Enjoy our beautifully restored 16th century cities, our exotic hotels, our more than 300 warm white sand beaches. Combine it all, and you get what can only be described as a continent of discoveries. And all of it within easy reach.
I hope you have enjoyed this clip of Puerto Rico. I really feel homesick now. Let's go now to our language lesson. We are going to open our workbook on page 44, please, and let's practice the verb ir. Remember, to go, ir. And we're going to start looking at some pictures, and we're going to talk about these pictures using the verb ir. Let's see what we have. This lady that is going shopping. How would we say she goes shopping? She goes shopping. Muy bien, mis estudiantes. Estupendo. Ella va de compras. Ella va de compras. You just use that verb that we use with ir de compras. Ella va de compras. Let's see the next picture and see what comes up. Here we have this lady who's taking a walk with the dog, and we say, I will just put a name to that lady, and I will say, La señorita Muñoz va de paseo. La señorita Muñoz va de paseo. Va is the verb for she is going, taking a walk. So, va de paseo. Now let's go to the next one. El señor López va a una fiesta. He's going to a party, or he's at a party. El señor López, remember, el señor López va a una fiesta. Let's see. Now I am going to Go very slowly on the last portion of the lesson because we are going to talk about adjectives, and I have quite a number of adjectives to share with you. Please open your workbook on page 57 and 59, and let's go very slowly because we have the masculine and the feminine of these adjectives. Let's start with bonito. Anybody knows what bonito means? Very good, muy bien. Bonito means pretty in masculine, and bonita means pretty in feminine. So if you have things, an item that is pretty, you say qué bonito or qué bonita, depending whether it's feminine or masculine. Now, I like to mention bonito. We don't use it very much with a male person. If we say a niño, probably a little boy, we will say niño bonito, but not a teenager or an older person, we will call it guapo. And we will go through that later on. I just wanted to let you know. Bonito, bonita. Let's go to the opposite of bonito. Oh, I don't like these adjectives, but anyway, we must learn them. Feo, that means ugly. Feo, and then fea. It's a very short word. Feo, fea. Repeat out loud. Feo, fea. And another adjective that we have is somebody who is alto or alta. A man that is tall, alto. A woman that is, a lady who is tall, alta. Alto, alta. Sounds like I have an accent there, but there is none because the O is already strong enough. Alto, alta. And let's go to the opposite of alto and alta is bajo. Bajo, baja. See that J again? Bajo, baja. It's like an H sound in English. Bajo, baja. And we have one that does not change and stays the same either way, whether it's masculine or feminine. Grande, grande. That means big or large. Grande, grande. We can use them for both, big or large. And the opposite of big is pequeño. Pequeño, pequeña. Pequeño, pequeña. See that Q, U, it's the U, it's silent again, and the sound of the ñ. Let's say it again out loud. This is not an easy word. Pequeño, pequeña. Again, pequeño, pequeña. We talked the other day about chiquito, which will it will mean the same as small, chiquito. So do not get confused. They are all the same. Let's go to a large or fat is gordo y gorda. Gordo, gorda. See, that R is not very easily spelled. We in Puerto Rico sometimes we speak so fast that you don't hear that R pronounced. Gordo, gorda. Let's go to delgado, the opposite. Delgado, delgada. And that's thin or slim. Delgado, delgada. See that GA sound? Delgado, delgada. That's slim, that's thin. And then we go to good. I'm sure you know this one. Bueno, buena. Bueno, buena. You see all the sounds of the letters? Bueno, buena. I don't leave anything left out. Bueno, buena. Let's go to the opposite. Malo, bad. Mala, bad. It's a masculine malo, feminine mala, bad. And we go to viejo, old, vieja, old. Viejo. Again, that J sound. Say it out loud. Muy bien. Viejo. Vieja. Muy bien, estudiantes. Viejo. Vieja. And let's go to the next one. The opposite of old is young. You're right. So, joven. Now you breathe. Joven. joven, and guess what? It does not change, just like grande, it stays the same. Joven. Let's say un hombre joven, una mujer joven, un niño joven, una niña joven. Joven. It does not change. And this one I like very much. Rico, rica. And see the sound of the C? It changes to a K sound. Why, my students? Why? Yes, because it's next to a strong vowel like O and A. The sound is K. It's K sound. Ka. Rico, rica. Now the R's also beginning of this word are a little bit stronger than the R that you find in between letters. So rico, rica. Some people say even pronounce it rather strong. Rico, rica. That means rich for both. And then the opposite of rico and rica is pobre. Oh, pobre. Pobre niña. Pobre niño. And guess what? It does not change again. Just like grande and the other one, it stays the same. Pobre and pobre stays the same like joven and grande. It does not change, feminine and masculine, or masculine and feminine. Pobre and pobre. Let's go to a happy one here. Simpático. It's a friendly one. Simpático. It's a long letter. It's a long word with many letters, and you see that accent on the A. Simpático. Simpático means friendly. How about the next one? Yes, it means friendly to female. Simpática. And then comes the opposite of simpático is antipático. Antipático. So like anti. Antipático means unfriendly. Antipática means unfriendly. Antipático, antipática. Let's go to this next one. Trabajador. Trabajo means work. So here we have the adjective for a person who works hard. Trabajador, trabajadora, trabajador, trabajadora. It's a long word. Opposite of trabajador and trabajadora is perezoso, perezosa, perezoso, perezosa. And sometimes you hear people saying perezoso, perezosa. That's the Castilian way with the ZTH sound. And that means lazy. Now that we have learned these adjectives, let's learn some colors so we can use them together in the next few lessons. We're going to start on page 48 of your workbook. And page 49, you have an activity that what you do is color. Use colored pencils and color, and then you name these colors in Spanish. So let's go to the first color. It's pardo and parda, and that means brown. Pardo, parda. See, that R is hardly pronounced to me. I hardly pronounce it. Now, there is also two more words that means brown, depending where which country the person is speaking. It's café. Color café means brown. And marrón. Marrón. Also double R and an accent. Those two also mean brown. Café, marrón. Let's go to another color, which I think you have heard also. Blanco and blanca. And see, these colors change now. They are masculine and feminine, just like the adjectives. So they have to agree with the adjectives, with the nouns also. Blanco, blanca. And the next color is rosado, rosada. And in parentheses, I wrote rosa, because in Puerto Rico, the pink, this is pink. The pink, we say color rosa. And then if we use color before the word rosa, does not change in feminine or masculine. However, using rosado, it changes in rosada, into rosada if we use it on feminine. Now let's do another word that does not change at all, masculine or feminine, is gris. Gris, that's gray. Gris, I guess this is an easy one. Now let's go to a long one. This one is yellow. Amarillo. I'm sure you are familiar with this one. You have heard it. Amarillo, that means yellow. And amarilla. Now let's pause here and let me hear how you say it. Amarillo, amarilla. Now you may say, but Doña Ada, I can say amarillo. That's perfectly all right. Amarillo, amarilla. Amarillo, amarilla, and that means yellow. We have another word that is taken from a fruit. Name of a fruit. Let's see if we have it. Anaranjado. That's from the naranja word, and it's anaranjado. And anaranjada, that is orange. That means the orange color, anaranjado, anaranjada. And here we have the color green, verde, verde. Now, in Puerto Rico, you may not hear the pronunciation of the R, and probably as well as in Cuba, we speak very fast and we say verde, verde, it is verde. Or even you can hear, it says, oh, Doña Ada, it sounds like an L, verde, but it's really verde, verde with an R. And we have the color blue, which is azul, azul. Azul means blue, and this color also does not change. Many of the colors do not change in gender, masculine or feminine. Azul or azul, depending how you prefer to say it. And we have red, which is rojo, and roja. See the R? Rojo and the J. Roja. Rojo, roja. And we have another color, purple, and we say morado, morada for purple. And we can also, I place it here also, púrpura. Púrpura, in Puerto Rico, we also use these colors, púrpura. And here we have them, my friends, and here I have a hat, a sombrero that I found from Puerto Rico, and I wanted to share with you how you wear it. Now, there are many different hats. You can wear it this way or the other way. In Puerto Rico, you see it this way. So I hope you have enjoyed Puerto Rico, and I'll see you the next time when we talk a little bit more. Adiós, hasta mañana.